At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? But it's nicer here. So you were born to feel nice instead of doing things and experiencing them? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants, and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? But we have to sleep sometime. Agreed. But nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking, and you're over the limit. You've had more than enough of that, but not of working. There you're still below your quota. You don't love yourself enough, or you'd love your nature too, and what it demands of you. People who love what they do wear themselves down doing it. They even forget to wash or eat. Do you have less respect for your own nature than the engraver does for engraving, the dancer for the dance, the miser for the money, or the social climber for status? When they're really possessed by what they do, they'd rather stop eating and sleeping than give up practicing their arts. No one could ever accuse you of being quick-witted. All right, but there are plenty of other things you can't claim you haven't got in you. Practice the virtues you can show: honesty, gravity, endurance, austerity, resignation, abstinence, patience, sincerity, moderation, seriousness, high-mindedness. Don't you see how much you have to offer, beyond excuses like can't? And yet you still settle for less. Or is it some inborn condition that makes you whiny and grasping and obsequious, makes you complain about your body and curry favor and show off, and leaves you so turbulent inside? No, you could have broken free a long way back, and then you would have been only a little slow, not so quick on the uptake. And you need to work on that as well, that slowness, not something to be ignored, let alone to prize. What happens to each of us is ordered. It furthers our destiny. Not to feel exasperated or defeated or despondent because your days aren't packed with wise and moral actions, but to get back up when you fail, to celebrate behaving like a human, however imperfectly, and fully embrace the pursuit that you've embarked on. Then look at the way people around you behave. Even the best of them are hard to put up with. Not to mention putting up with yourself in such deep darkness, such a sewer, in the flux of material, of time, of motion, and things moved. I don't know what there is to value or to work for. Quite the contrary. We need to comfort ourselves and wait for dissolution, and not get impatient in the meantime, but take refuge in these two things. 1, nothing can happen to me that isn't natural. 2, I can keep from doing anything that God and my own spirit don't approve. No one can force me to. What am I doing with my soul? Interrogate yourself to find out what inhabits your so-called mind and what kind of soul you have now. A child's soul, an adolescent's, a woman's, a tyrant's soul, the soul of a predator or its prey. I am made up of substance and what animates it, and neither one can ever stop existing any more than it began to. Every portion of me will be reassigned as another portion of the world, and that in turn transformed into another, ad infinitum. I was produced through one such transformation, and my parents too, and so on back, ad infinitum. Still holds good even if the world goes through recurrent cycles, which reminds me of the 5,000-year cycles that we are living through on Earth. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. Color it with a run of thoughts like these. Anywhere you can lead your life, you can lead a good one. Lives are led at court, then good ones can be. Things gravitate toward what they were intended for. What things gravitate toward is their goal. A thing's goal is what benefits it. It's good. A rational being's good is unselfishness. What we were born for, that's nothing new. Remember, lower things for the sake of higher ones, and higher ones for one another. Things that have consciousness are higher than those that don't, and those with the logos still higher. Things have no hold on the soul. They have no access to it, cannot move or direct it. It is moved and directed by itself alone. It takes the things before it and interprets them as it sees fit. In a sense, people are our proper occupation. Our job is to do them good and put up with them. But when they obstruct our proper tasks, they become irrelevant to us, like sun, wind, animals. Our actions may be impeded by them, but there can be no impeding our intentions with our dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Keep in mind how fast things pass by and are gone, those that are now and those to come. Existence flows past us like a river. The what is in constant flux. The why has 1,000 variations. Nothing is stable, not even what's right here. The infinity of past and future gapes before us, a chasm whose depths we cannot see. So it would take an idiot to feel self-importance or distress, or any indignation either, as if the things that irritate us lasted. Remember, matter, how tiny your share of it, time, how brief and fleeting your allotment of it, fate, how small a role you play in it. So other people hurt me? That's their problem. Their character and actions are not mine. What is done to me is ordained by nature. What I do by my own. Don't be irritated at people's smell or bad breath. What's the point? With that mouth, with those armpits, they're going to produce that odor. But they have a brain. Can't they figure it out? Can't they recognize the problem? So you have a brain as well. Good for you. Then use your logic to awaken his. Show him. Make him realize it. If he'll listen, then you'll have solved the problem without anger. You can live here as you expect to live there. And if they won't let you, you can depart life now and forfeit nothing. If the smoke makes me cough, I can leave. What's so hard about that? Until things reach that point, I'm free. No one can keep me from doing what I want. And I want what is proper to rational beings living together. Soon you'll be ashes or bones, a mere name at most. And even that is just a sound, an echo. The things we want in life are empty, stale, trivial. Dogs snarling at each other, quarreling children, laughing and then bursting into tears a moment later. Trust, shame, justice, truth, gone from the earth and only found in heaven. Why are you still here? Sensory objects are shifting and unstable. Our senses dim and easily deceived. The soul itself, a decoction of the blood. Fame in a world like this is worthless. And so, wait for it patiently. Annihilation or metamorphosis.